Hello and welcome to today's video. So this time we'll be looking through my stock of spare vintage penguins between the first 500 of the main penguin series. Haven't got them all, of course, but I have got a fair old batch here to share with you today. And if you are interested in any of these, well, you know what to do. So without further ado, sit back, relax, and let's get to it. Okay then, so the earliest one I have currently in stock is number 12 here. And these are all bagged, and I've already described their condition with prices. So no dust wrapper, light fox into the covers and page edges, a small bookseller stamp to the first page, and that one is £5. Now, I'm happy to send anywhere in the world, and I will also combine shipping. So if you buy multiple books, I'll put them all into one parcel and get the best possible price for you. Most overseas parcels will need to be 2 kilograms or less, but you can always have multiple 2 kilogram parcels if you want. Number 15, For Frightened People. No dust wrapper, lightly tanned spine with a small crease to the bottom. Also £5, that one. But I don't think there's anything quite like seeing the books in the flesh rather than reading them on a catalogue. It's quite nice to do them this way. This is number 20, Home. Bright, unread example in a dust wrapper that has some chipping to the edges. This is £6. So underneath, that'd be virtually brand new. But obviously it's got its original priced dust wrapper on, and that one is £6. Number 35, the Rocklets. No dust wrapper, clean and bright example with wear to the base of the spine, a small name inside. So there's a little bit of wear to the base of the spine there. But that one's also £5. So if you see any of these that you want, make a list and then email me at the end to julesburt@gmail.com, and I'll just do the orders in the order that they were received. So I'll get back to you with what's still available and what the total price would be. Don't forget, of course, to include your name and address so I know where the postage is going to be being sent to. Number 37 here, The Pilgrim of a Smile. No dust wrapper, slightly fox covers and light spine wear. So it's £4 on that one. Wallet of Kai Lung, that's number 39. No dust wrapper, foxed and a bit grubby, a piece missing from a corner of the first page. So just £3, that one. These are all Penguin First Editions, as you can see. Number 43, a safety match. This is no dust wrapper, light wear to covers, a small crease and an F to the back cover, £4. There's the little F. A little crease on the back cover, but pretty nice for £4. There we are, a bit of creasing there. 52, the Spanish Farm. No dust wrapper, light foxing to covers and a slightly fading spine, £4. It's another copy of number 52 here, the Spanish Farm. No dust wrapper, wear and rubbing to spine. It's a clean copy. I've got £3.50 on that one. 56, The Hounds of Spring. No dust wrapper, exceptional example. £7 on that. Very, very nice copy of that one. Our first crime of many today, including some rare ones. This is number 63, Raffles. Great book, this one. No dust wrapper, light general wear, but quite a robust example. £25 on that one. Another crime one, For Just Men, Edgar Wallace, number 64. No dust wrapper, general wear to the spine and covers, a little foxed, a little grubby, £20. 68, Travel with Mystics and Magicians in Tibet. No dust wrapper, slightly grubby copy with faults, just £3 on that. You see there's a few marks and stuff on it. Confessions and Impressions, number 71. No dust wrapper, slightly aged and toned for £4 on that one. Another copy of this one, 71. No dust wrapper, clean and bright example for £5, so a slightly better edition. And if I have got more than one copy, just make sure you list the copy that you particularly want. Number 73 is Mr. Weston's Good Wine. No dust wrapper, slightly foxed covers, and inside first few pages, a light spine fading, which there is there, but £4 for that one. And these really are very, very good value for money. The Rasp, number 79. No dust wrapper, bright example showing minor signs of wear. You see a little bit of wear down there. I've got 30 on that one for the Rasp. Tarka the Otter, number 81. No dust wrapper, bright and clean example with a lightly darkening spine. £5 on that one. I'll slide that pile over there. Let's carry on here. So 85. So it is in brass at the Ford. No dust wrapper, slightly grubby and worn example. £3 that one here. Not the best example, but it's a copy. Here's a better example of number 85. No dust wrapper. First page is blank and it was a missing page. So the first page is missing, but it was just a blank page. Else, very light wear, £3. So better condition than the other one, but it is missing the first page. 86. These Charming People. Bright example, no dust wrapper, with lightly darkening spine, name and date to inside front cover. But that's £5 on that one. 89. The Documents in the Case. No dust wrapper, very nice bright copy, lightly tanned spine with a tiny nick at the bottom, and I've put a beauty, £32. There's the tiny nick, £32 for that one. It's a nice copy. We have another one here, Documents in the Case, 89. No dust wrapper, very nice bright copy, minute signs of wear, and I've got 30 on that one. So slightly, just slightly lesser condition than the first one we saw. Number 90, The Sandfield Scandal. Richard Cavern. No dust wrapper, slightly darkened spine, read a few times with a slight spine roll. Generally clean with a few minute dirt spots, and that one's also £30. So yeah, I would say it has got a slight spine roll. It has been read a few times. Certainly tougher than some crime ones. Right, Manual's Thursday. This is number 95. I've got no dust wrapper, general wear and aging, a little grubby with spine wear, which you can see there. There's a bit of spine wear. £4 on that particular one. 97, Some Experiences of an Irish RM. No dust wrapper, light foxing to covers and inside. £4 on that one. You can see a bit of foxing on that one. 99, The Worst Journey in the World, Volume 1. No dust wrapper, internal foxing to the first few pages, a lightly darkening spine, and that's £4 on that one. And then number 100, which is Worst Journey in the World Part 2. No dust wrapper, internal foxing to the first few pages, lightly darkening spine, £4. So not bad at all. 101 is Mr. Justice Raffles. No dust wrapper, a darkened spine, name on the first page with page edge browning, a tight copy, which is £30, that one. The Raffles books, the two that they did, are fantastic. Yeah, great reads. Youth Rides Out, 102. No dust wrapper, slight page edge browning and lightly darkening spine. So £4 on that one. Still pretty nice if you ask me. Kai Lung unrolls his mat, which is 108. No dust wrapper, light signs of wear and a slightly darkening spine for £4. Here's another copy of 108. No dust wrapper, bright and a very presentable example. £5 for that one. And when you think nowadays that a brand new paperback is setting you back the best part of a tenner, these 80-plus-year-old paperbacks are an absolute steal, really, aren't they? 110, Disraeli. No dust wrapper, clean and bright example with a slightly darkening spine for £5 for that one. Next, absolute favourite, The Hound of the Baskervilles. I said these are all Penguin first editions. No dust wrapper, clean and bright example with a lightly darkening spine for £20 for the Hound of the Baskervilles. What a great book that is. A miscellaneous title, 118, while Rome Burns. No dust wrapper, slight spine roll and light wear and foxing. £3 on that one, which isn't too bad. It Walks by Night. This is number 124. No dust wrapper, small writing to the front, cover and the first page loose, wear to cover and spine. So it's all there, but it's probably more like a filler than anything else. I got £12 on that, which I think isn't bad at all. Havering Plot, number 127, Richard Cavern. No dust wrapper, quite warm with some staining to the first few pages. Complete, but this one's been through the wars. It certainly has, but it's £15, which once again isn't a fortune, I don't believe. Lord of Arabia, number 128. No dust wrapper, a slightly worn copy with a name to the first page, general signs of use. And that one is £3. The Weekend Book, Volume 1, number 129. No dust wrapper, foxing to covers and the first couple of pages, spine a little worn. Just £3, that bad boy. 10-Minute Alibi, number 131. I've got no dust wrapper, a slight spine browning, bright and clean. £20 for that one. Slight browning of the spine, but pretty nice, that one. And we've got another copy of it for 10-Minute Alibi. No dust wrapper, bright example with only light wear, a little internal foxing. So that one's 18. As I said, just let me know if there's a particular one you would prefer. Mr. Perrin and Mr. Trial, number 132. No dust wrapper, a bright and clean example, £5 on that one. 135, 7 Red Sundays. In a dust wrapper, which shows some minor foxing and a partial split to one edge, but not detached. The book itself is excellent with some page edge foxing. £7 on that one. For 7 Red Sundays in a dust wrapper. Here's another copy of 7 Red Sundays. No dust wrapper, slightly darkened cover and spine. Else a solid example for £4. And then number 138, which is Self, Beverly Nichols. No dust wrapper, a slightly grubby covers with light page edge browning, which is £4 for that one. 142, Spiderweb, Alice Campbell. No dust wrapper, wear and foxing to covers and inside is tanned. Small piece of the top of the spine is missing. I've got 14 on that one for Spiderweb. 143, Fontamara. Lightly darkened spine and light page edge foxing, a presentable copy for £4. Man in the Red Hat, number 147. I've got no dust wrapper, it's a grubby copy which is okay as a reader. Multiple faults or a filler, £8 on that one. Still a very early pre-war crime. Here's a better example of the same book, number 147. Man in the Red Hat, no dust wrapper, worn and red copy with wear and light foxing to the spine, previous owner's name to the first page, and some pencil annotations to a few pages, which I guess could be rubbed out. That one's 18 on that particular copy. Travel, The Land That God Gave Cain, which is number 148. No dust wrapper, tight and robust example with light foxing to covers and the first couple of pages, which is £5 on that one. Pretty nice. Miracle of Peel, number 150. No dust wrapper, slightly foxed covers and page edges for £4. Number 150. Another favourite, number 151, The Invisible Man. No dust wrapper, robust but a foxed copy, light coverware, and that's 20 on that one. So you see it has got some foxing on the front. At £20 on that one. Enter a Murderer, 152. The J.O. Marsh, bit of a cool one this. No dust wrapper, but a very nice copy with only minute signs of wear to the covers. £30 on that one. Enter a Murderer. The Piccadilly Murder, Anthony Berkeley, 153. Now this one's in a dust wrapper, which has some edge chipping and rubbed to the spine. Partially split spine along one edge, but it's not detached. So the dust wrapper is there, partially split but not detached. The book itself has light internal foxing, but is an excellent example, and that one is £50 for that. For a very nice pre-war crime book in a dust wrapper. Then we've got The House on Tollard Ridge, number 154, John Road. No dust wrapper, wear to the spine but no loss, light cover markings. And that one is £25. Lovely. £155 is The Murder at Crome House. No dust wrapper, cover split 1 inch from the bottom of the spine. A small name to the first page, so slightly grubby. I've got £20 on that one. Another favourite, The Mystery of Dr. Fu Manchu, number 157. This one hasn't got a dust wrapper. Beautiful, bright and clean example. A beauty. £40 on that one. 158, The Waxwork Murder. No dust wrapper, slightly darkening spine and a name to the first page. And this one's £35. Dangerfield Talisman, 159. No dust wrapper, beautiful example with just a couple of minute spots of foxing. Outstanding at £40 on that one. Obelisks at Sea, number 160. No dust wrapper, a few marks to the cover and a tiny spine nick, which is up there, £28 on that one. Now, all the books that are sold, I am going to put a little in the description down below. If you just check the description, you'll be able to see which books are sold, because as they're sold, I'll keep the list updated so you can see if they're still available or not. Another copy of Obelisks at Sea, 160. This one, no dust wrapper, minute name on the first page, slight spine damage, so £25. You see there's a little rub there. So that's 25 on that one. Charlton, an autobiography. This is at 163. No dust wrapper, very minor wear to covers and spine. That one's at £4 on that. Peking Picnic, 171. No dust wrapper, some spots of foxing to covers and a few pages, very light darkening to spine. That one's £4. The Crescent Moon, 172. No dust wrapper, a robust and bright copy with some page edge spotting and foxing, £5 on that one. Looks pretty nice to me. Kai Lung's Golden Hours. This is number 174. No dust wrapper, slightly darkened spine and a few cover marks, £3 on that one. Confessions of a Young Man, number 185. No dust wrapper, slight page edge branding and a small split at the bottom of the cover near the spine. That's just £3 on that one. The Egypt's Gold, number 187. No dust wrapper, a faded spine with the faintest touch of foxing. Once again, just £3 on that one. But soft we are observed, 189. No dust wrapper, a slightly worn copy with minor faults, £3.50. So yeah, a little bit of wear here and there. Still okay. Another crime title, Death of My Aunt, 190. No dust wrapper, beautiful copy with minute spine darkening, bright, £28 on that one. Pretty nice copy there. 191, Ordinary Families. No dust wrapper, covers in the first few pages foxed, also £3.50. Of course, we're starting to creep towards the start of the Second World War now. Barnum Rectory, number 192. No dust wrapper, slightly worn with a faded spine, which is £3 on that one. Sledge, 193. No dust wrapper, quite foxed to the covers and the first few pages and edges. So that's £3 on that one. You see the edges are a bit foxed there. So £3 on that. Here's another copy of 193. No dust wrapper, spine is darkened and slightly rubbed, £3.50. Four Plays by A. Milne, 196. No dust wrapper, slightly grubby and a worn example really, for £3. African Farm, Story of, 197. No dust wrapper, slight page edge foxing, and that's £3.50 for that one. And we have another copy of that one. No dust wrapper, light page edge foxing, £4 on that one. It's definitely a brighter copy than the last one. .204 is Grey Steel. No dust wrapper, spine slightly darkened and rubbed, overall slightly foxed. So not the greatest of copies, but it's just £3, that one. Literary Lapses, number 212. No dust wrapper, superb bright example for £5, that one. 216, The Verdict of You All, Henry Wade. No dust wrapper, spine and covers are slightly mottled, page edge browning, still quite a robust example for £20, that one. Death at the Opera, 217, Gladys Mitchell. No dust wrapper, circular stain to the front cover and page edges, square and robust example with a tidy spine, which it has got for £15 on that one. Obviously it's got that stain on the front there. An Oxford Tragedy, 220. No dust wrapper, worn and slightly faded spine for £15. Across Lapland, 226. No dust wrapper, wear and a crease to the spine, foxing to inside covers which are a little marked, so £3 on that one. Those Greenland Days, 233. No dust wrapper, covers and the first few pages foxed with page edge foxing, £3 on that one. Bit of mark in there like paint or something, so once again a £3 filler. Hindu Holiday, number 242. No dust wrapper, bright, square and robust example for £5, that one. It's pretty nice. The Tavern Knight, Raphael Sabatini, 243. No dust wrapper, very light wear to spine, a nice example for £4. Triple Fuge, 248. in a dust wrapper that shows just minor signs of wear and aging. The book itself is bright with light page edge browning. So that's £7 for that one there in a dust wrapper. Death in Ecstasy in a J.M. Marsh, £2.49. No dust wrapper. Minor wear and marks to the cover. Generally okay though. £15 on that one. It's not bad at all for that. Fate Cannot Harm Me, £2.52. No dust wrapper. A bright example with light spine wear for £4. Pretty nice, that one. Away From It All, £2.54. No dust wrapper. Minute signs of general wear, but still a robust example for £4. The Cherry Tree, Adrian Bell, £2.64. No dust wrapper. Slightly worn and dusty example with page edge browning, £4 on that one. The Dying Older Man, this is £2.66. No dust wrapper. A slight spine roll with minute wear to covers, £30. Just very, very slight spine roll on that one. Told by an Idiot, £2.67. No dust wrapper. Light fading to spine. A small name to the inside front cover. Bright, £4 that one. The Wanderer of 1,000 Hills, £2.72. No dust wrapper. A beautiful bright example for £5. That's very nice and clean, that. Silverlay, Adrian Bell. Now this copy is in a dust wrapper that has a faded spine and very minute signs of wear. The book itself is bright and sharp, £6 on that one. And we do have another copy of it in a dust wrapper. So in a wrapper that has a faded spine and general rubbing across all edges. Book is bright and sharp. So £5 on that one. So not quite as nice as the first one. Then we've got Crime, Uncle Silas, £2.79. Bright copy with just minute spine fading for £20 on that one. Slide them over there. The First 100,000 by Ian Hay, £2.83. Spine worn, covers and internal page edges all foxed, £8 on that one. But we are starting to get into the realms of the scarcer wartime ones now. Another copy of £2.83. Spine damaged and split at the top and tail. Very light wear elsewhere, £8 on that one. You see a little bit damage there. Public School Murders, which is number 285. Spine, partially worn with splits to the bottom. Internal foxing. It's £18 on that one. Cage Birds, 287. Obviously dust wrappers have been dropped at this point. Generally a little grubby, but still a solid example. £5 on that one. Number 287. Lawrence of Arabia, 288. Bright example with a very little cover foxing for £6 on that one. And 291. Before we take a little break, we've got spine slightly rubbed and a book plate to the inside front cover, The Quest for Corvo. So that one is £3. And we've got another copy. Decent copy with some cover foxing for £4. And at that point, I'm going to take a short break. Okay, so just to let you know that I will have 2 further sales videos coming out over the next couple of weeks, so do make sure you are subscribed so you can get in quick. My Patreon and channel members have access to all my sales videos 1 week in advance of them going public. So if you want first look, support me on Patreon or on YouTube through channel memberships, and you will get first stab at these. The next video will be main series 501 to 1000. Then the third video is going to be my stock of Puffin storybooks, Puffin picture books, peacocks. I've got Penguin Classics, Penguin English Library, King Penguins, and other miscellaneous bits and bobs. So quite a bit to come still over the next 2 or possibly 3 sales videos over the next fortnight. And these will be the last sort of sales videos that I do for 2025. Right, okay, so cracking on with number 292, which is Anton Chekhov's 3 plays. This is Foxed, grubby example with name to the first page. That's just £3, that one. As I said, just drop orders to me via email with your name and address, and I'll deal with them first come, first received, as it were. All right, so 292 again. Slight fading to the spine. Else a solid example for £4. So it's certainly better than the first one we've seen there. Natural History of Selborne, 296. Generally worn and grubby example, just £3 on that one. Here's the same book. It's got a blank back. It's a variant, plain rear cover. Light signs of general wear for £5. Certainly scarcer with a plain rear cover. Juju and Justice in Nigeria. This is number 298. Worn spine and rear flap present but detached. So that's £3.50 on that one. This is obviously quite a scarce period in Penguin history. 299. The Life of Mary Kingsley. Generally a little dusty with light wear all over. So that's £4 on that one. Murder in Hospital. Josephine Bell. This is number 302. Slightly worn and grubby copy. A minor spine roll for £60 on that one. The Eyes of Max Carados. Number 303. General wear and foxing to covers. Pages are a bit tanned. Else it's okay at £75, that one. It's a slight edge wear, a bit of foxing. Very, very scarce. Wartime crime, as you know. Half-mast murder. 304. Very attractive copy with minor foxing to the back cover and page edges. It's 100 on that one. Pretty nice example, that. Night Watches. 308. W.W. Jacobs. Generally a little foxed and aged all over for £5. Eastern Flights by Alan Bott, who, if you didn't know, was the guy who created Pan Books. But before he did that, he was published in Penguin. He was a war hero. Number 309. Quite a worn example with a couple of small pieces missing from the spine and a little grubby. £3. So it's a copy. Not a great copy, but it's a copy. Top Story Murder, number 313. Rear cover almost detached with a small piece missing from the top and the bottom of the spine. Quite a bright example though at £70 for Top Story Murder. The Land of the Blue Poppy, number 315. Quite a worn example with some small cover creases and spine wear, £3. Fall Over Cliff, the scarce one from Josephine Bell, number 317. Bright example, slight spine roll and a little wear to the spine. Minute cover marks for £80, that one. Pretty nice. I Claudius Volume 2, number 319. A robust example with slight signs of aging for £5 on that one. Sunshine Sketches of a Little Town. This is number 320. This has got a plain rear cover. It's a variant. Tiny piece out of the corner of the front cover, top left corner. And fading to spine on the plain rear cover. It's got a little bit of marking as well. It's £3.50 on that one. So not a fortune. I Will Maintain, Marjorie Bowen. Number 323. A grubby example with a stain to the front cover and a darkening spine for £3. So yes, a pretty poor example, just a filler more than anything else. The Penguin Herodotus, number 330, small piece missing from the top of the spine, light cover foxing, £3.50 for that one. Bridge of St. Louis, 332. Robust and clean example has a Save the Children sticker to the front cover, which I have not attempted to remove. £3.50. So, there you go. Another copy of that one there. Very, very thin book. Slight rubbing to the spine, else a clean example for £4. Russian Short Stories, number 333. Slight fading to the spine, else it's a nice example for £4 on that one. Sir Walter Raleigh, 334. Slight darkening to the spine, else a lovely example for £6. And we've got another copy of 334. Minute signs of cover wear only, a nice example for £5. Another crime one, Jumping Jenny, 337. Plain rear cover variant, very light foxing to the inside covers, else a superior, robust and bright example for £30. It's a more common wartime crime, but that's very nice condition, and the added bonus of having the variation on it. Oil Paint and Grease Paint, Volume 1, 344. Minute damage to the top and bottom of spine, else a solid example for £3.50. Then another copy of Oil Paint and Grease Paint, Volume 1. Slightly worn and darkening spine for £4. 345 is Oil Paint and Grease Paint, Volume 2. Minute signs of wear to a lightly darkening spine for £5 on that one. Green Pastures at 357. Front cover and wear to the spine includes a small piece missing and a name to the front cover, so just £2.50 on that one. A pretty scarce book, Green Pastures. Here's another copy of it. Foxing to covers, but otherwise a robust and clean example for £4. It's just the way it was printed, the paper it's printed on. Very, very scarce book, that particular one. The British Infantryman, Ian Hay, number 359. Slightly foxed all over with page edge browning, a typical wartime issue for £7. Scarce book. The Silk Stocking Murders, 368. Small stain to the front cover and 2 pieces of Magi tape over the inside cover staples, which has been well done. Minute wear to the cover, to the spine rather, for £40, that one. Still a pretty presentable copy in my book. Now there is another example here. Same book, same first printing. Bright, tight and robust example with a small bookshop stamp to the first page for £60 on that one. Okay. Right. The Life of Nelson, 375. This copy, a minute piece out of the top of the cover. There we are. A light 9 to the top right cover and lightly toned for £3.50. Then we've got another copy, 375, toned and a bit dusty with a small mark to the front cover, which is there, for £4. And we've actually got a third copy, which is that one there. Light foxing to covers and wear to spine with front cover split halfway down at the spine, £3.50. So you can take your pick of that one. 13 Stories, number 380. Worn covers which were a little grubby, a small name above the Penguin logo, £3.50 on that one. Meet Yourself As You Really Are, £3.82. Darkening to Spine, else a robust copy with slightly toned covers for £5 on that one. England Made Me, Graham Greene, number 392. Robust example, very light wear to covers and a spine which is slightly faded. £10 for that early Graham Greene. Portrait of England, number 400. Slightly aged and dusty example with a name to the first page. Spine has minor wear for £4. Country Life, H.E. Bates, number 401. Slightly dusty example with a but robust and solid for £5. These are all wartime issues, as you can see. The Patrician, John Goldsworthy, 406. Light wear increasing to the spine, a nice example for £12. Scarce book, that one. Ballads of Barnacle Bill. Cover detached, evidence of tape removal over the spine, just £3. That one, it's merely a filler, but scarce once again. Sporting Adventure, 424, Wentworth Day. Cover is worn and partially detached near the spine. Bottom inch of the spine is actually missing, including the penguin number. So that's £4 for number 424. Once again, very scarce. Northanger Abbey, number 425, an early Jane Austen. Worn example with quite heavy foxing and wear. The spine is damaged with some loss, including the number. So that's just £4. So the price is reflective of its condition. Next, another rarity, the Nebulae Coat, 437. About an inch of the bottom of the spine is missing, along with other minor spine damage. So all the damage is to the spine there, a little bit missing by the name, missing about an inch at the bottom there, including the penguin number. This one's £100. I've seen it sell for over £3, so you know it's a rare book. So that's your chance to get a real rarity. That one, the Nebulae Coat. 6,000 Beards of Athos, number 440. General coverwear with a faded spine, but still a quite nice copy for £7. She Was a Queen, Morris Collins, number 443. Very light signs of wear. Spine a little dark with a tiny piece missing from the top. And that's £7 on that one. Take the last little wedge over here now. We got the Times Fourth Leaders, number 444. Light wear to cover with a faint name in the top right corner. Spine a little dark for £3.50. Dr. Darwin, 446. Front cover almost detached with a tiny piece missing. Generally quite aged, so just £3 on that one. Another rarity, Death in a White Tie, a J.M. Marsh, number 450. Front cover is partially detached. Some staining and a small name to the front cover. The spine is okay, which it is. Another scarce one, and I've got £75 on that one. You can see it has got some staining, but once again, you know, £250 to £300 in top shape, so it's a very good price if you haven't got that one. And the last of the real rare crime books is Flowers for the Judge, number 459. A worn but complete example, covers hanging on, just. Numerous small pieces and chips missing from the covers, but internally it's okay, for £60. So it's a copy. If you just can't find another one out there, it's a way to have an example. It's even got the number there on the spine. 60, it's not bad. Right, the Iron Heel, Jack London, 461. Slightly darkening spine, but generally an excellent example for £5. We're coming in towards the end of the war now. Sitting on the Fence, 473. Heavy spine roll, grubby covers with a name across the top of the front cover. Just £2.50, that one. It's too scarce to throw away, really, but it's very low grade. Seducers in Ecuador, number 480. Front cover detached, small piece missing from the middle of the spine, else a Bryce example for £2.50. Very, very cheap if you've not already got an example of that one. The Clio, number 486. Slight spine roll and a cover ripple for £3.50. Another copy of the Clio. 486, slightly worn and grubby example with page edge browning for £3. And the last copy, tight, bright and clean example with just minute rubbing to the spine, a price inked out and a small mark to the rear, £4. The Lost Stradivarius, 487. Clean and bright example for £6 on that one. Very nice indeed. Another copy. Tight copy with the price inked out on the front cover. That one's £4 for that. Then the last copy. Got the Save the Children on there. Save the Children sticker to the front cover with a darkened spine and a foxed back cover. So that's £2.50 for that one. The Forest Lovers, number 488. Dusty covers with some internal foxing and page edge browning for £4 on that one. Escape to Switzerland, number 490. Light fading to the spine, a little internal foxing for £4. And another copy of Escape to Switzerland. Fading to spine with a light 15 to the front cover. That's £3.50 on that one. Africa Dances, 491. Very light fading to the spine. Else a beautiful example for £6 on that. Very nice indeed. The Vicar of Wakefield, 499. Light coverwear but a robust example for £5. Another copy of the Vicar of Wakefield, 499. Very worn covers and generally dusty and aged for £3. So might do though for somebody as a filler. Then number 500, which is Major Barber. Now this first copy is the Services Edition. Tiny loss to the penguin logo on the spine there, else it's near fine for £4. But that's the Services Edition of that. It says Services Edition inside. Then we've got two copies of the regular edition, number 500 there. I'd say that's pretty much unread for £3. And another copy of that one. Once again, I'd say pretty much unread, £2.50. So slightly faded spine on that one. So there you go. So that's basically my spare penguins from number 1 up to number 500. As I said, if you are interested in any of these, do please just drop me an email and I shall reply to them in the order that they've come in, and I'm happy to ship anywhere around the world. So there you go. Hope you've seen something there that you might be interested in. If you have, just drop me an email. Check, of course, in the description to see if it's already gone, to save you the bother. But if it hasn't, it's not marked as sold, then assume that it's still available. Drop me an email. I'll get back to you straight away to let you know if it is. Don't forget to include your name and address so I can work out what the postage is likely to be. And, well, good luck. Hopefully you can find something in there. Then don't forget, over the next few weeks, the next 2 to 3 weeks, I'll be doing at least 2 more, but possibly 3 more sales videos to do the rest of my stock before the end of November. And that'll be the last sort of sales videos I do till next year. So if you're interested in something, don't hesitate to get in touch. Thanks very much for watching today, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye.